far and wide, filled with team spirit and hometown pride. All fired up from the big pepper rally last night. Hear the marching band playing the fight song. Teams charging the field, ready to get it on. Cheerleaders working up the crowd with all their might. That's what I love about a high school football Friday night.
Good evening and welcome to High School Game Time right here on YouTube Live alongside the expert Doug Ritchay. I'm Michael Gross. Thanks for staying up late with us, and buckle up because we've got a jam-packed commercial-free show tonight. We've got football, volleyball, soccer.
Oh my.
Yeah, oh my is right. And we are excited to break it all down. Doug, let's start with our game of the week on the gridiron. Lourdes Academy and Hilbert. That's for a spot in the state semis. Doug, neither had been there in quite a long time.
No, and these two teams met last year in level 2. Now they're meeting one game deeper into the playoffs. And talking with both teams, I mean, they both had, there's obvious incentive. Hilbert wanted to pay him back from last year, wants to get to a state semi. Lourdes wants to get to their second state semifinal ever. So these two teams hooked up tonight, and I'll tell you what, it's quite an interesting game, even though the score wasn't up there, but it was interesting.
11-0 against 10-1. Let's go to Titan Stadium. We go for the 1-2 matchup between Hilbert and Lourdes. First play from scrimmage, we got action. Brady Bauer finding a seam. He trots 62 yards for a tutty at 7-0.
Yeah, I was on the Hilbert sideline. They said they had two defensive linemen go to the wrong gap, and that's why Brady Bauer went untouched.
Yeah, that'll happen, those long touchdowns. And then, well, Hilbert started to kick it into gear. Jack Pacala from the 1 punches it in on 4th and goal. Wolves would tie it up there, and then to the second, Bauer and the Knights respond on this 10-yard house call.
Yeah, a little bit shorter, but Bauer, a good quarterback. He can run it and he can throw it.
14-7 Lourdes still in the second quarter. Hilbert tying it up. Ezra Savella from the 1-yard line. 14 apiece, but with time winding down to the first half, the Knights go out in front. It's Brady Ridnour.
Big score right before halftime gives them a 7-point lead. That proved to be huge.
Let's go to the second half. Home team up a score. Hilbert needs a stop on 3rd down. They get one here on 3rd and goal. Go with the field goal, but it wouldn't matter. Lourdes Academy keeps their perfect season alive, slides into the state semis with a 24-14 win.
We don't beat ourselves. We take care of the football. We don't give up a whole lot of points. So, we are very, very disciplined. So, you guys might as well do it. I can see it. Back up. What the heck? So, we take care of the football on offense. Defensively, we'll give up some yards. We're not a big team, but we play our tails off, and we'll find a way to make a play when it matters.
Yeah, they played their tails off. How about the agility from Kevin Wopat?
Yeah, I tell you what, those Lourdes tonight, if Lourdes is going to win more games, you got to get better at that.
Yeah.
You know? Get ready for next week. Maybe you can do that again. Hit Coach Wopat with the ice bucket there, but great defense in the second half, really, from both teams. Only 3 points scored in the second half. First half, neither team could stop the other, but I thought maybe the biggest key in this first half was, I think it was Lourdes' second drive of the game. They went into punt formation and they faked it. They scored a touchdown on that drive. If they kick that ball, we're not 21-14 at half, we're 14-14 at half. Maybe it's a different second half. Hilbert had to play catch up in the second half like they had to and throw the ball and get uncomfortable. That fake punt was huge.
When you play the what-if game, the conclusion of the game, it could always be different during the what-if game. But the Knights will now face the other #1 in Cochrane Fountain City. Let's head to D1. De Pere, the 7th seed, looking for another upset over #1 Waunakee. Down 7-0. Redbirds Holden Woodfill back to pass over the middle. There's Dante Matta at the 1-yard line. Next play, Redbirds on the board. It's Caden Champers getting across the goal line. We're tied at 7. Waunakee scoring another touchdown to make it 14-7. They go up 21-7 on this play. Cole Kraus to Justin Sawicki in the end zone for the score. De Pere's great run of the playoff comes to an end, losing 42-27. 28. Also in D1, Bayport, how about this? A huge win tonight over Franklin, 42-13. Pirates now play Muskego in a rematch of last year's state title game, Doug.
Yeah, you know, going on the road like this, Franklin, '1 ranked in the state, 11-0 on the season. Bayport's really good, but you kind of think Franklin, this might be their time. No, it's not. Bayport has ideas of going back-to-back.
Defending champs for a reason. Let's go to Division II. West De Pere, the top seed facing the 3-seed Union Grove. Took a couple of drives, but the Phantoms got on the board first. Its quarterback Patrick Greisen hits Braden Stiegel. Gets his balance, shakes off a defender, takes it in for a tutty. Let's go to the second. Not much offense for the Broncos in the first half, but they shine defensively. The pass tipped by Lucas Klaus flying in there into the hands of Quinn Kepnick. Big time play, but it was the Phantoms getting the last laugh. Ryan Lutz. The handoff, Doug, 87 yards to the house, shaking off a couple Broncos.
Looks like Lutz is getting loose, and when he does that, he usually finds pay dirt right there.
You practice that in the mirror?
No, it's just the way I am.
Phantoms win big, 42-14. Now Homestead up next for West De Pere for a trip to state. On the other side of the D2 bracket, Kingston Allen and the top-seeded Notre Dame hosting a 2-seed Rice Lake. Allen, a week removed from rushing for over 500 yards and 7 touchdowns, picks up right where he left off, untouched for 30 on the way to the house. Packers O-line there with a front row seat for the score. Like what they're seeing from the O-line, and the Tritons as well, up 14-0. Allen just getting warmed up once again, finding an opening. Can you guess what happened next?
It looks like he scored.
Yeah, 64 yards. Third touchdown of the game, 21-12 in the second. Tritons dominated in the first half, but Rice Lake made it interesting in the second. Perfect throw to Will Spedston for the tutty. Warriors down 28-20 in the third. Same score with 1:30 to play. Notre Dame back to punt. Hangs for a while on the come down. Rice Lake muffin the punt. Notre Dame would recover. Jack Whitehouse on the ball first. Tritons then kneel out the clock, collect a victory 28-20. They're moving on to face River Falls next week. Taking on the winner of this game, unfortunately, though, is not Oshkosh North. They fall to River Falls 52-38, though. A great season for the Spartans.
Yeah, that's only their second loss of the year. They put up 38 in a level 3 sectional final game now, as we call them. And Oshkosh North, a great season. And I know they were senior heavy, but the job that Lukat did there, a very impressive season for the Spartans.
My question for you then is, of those teams in Division I and Division II, the ones that we thought were the strongest teams out there, are they not as strong as we thought, or is it just as the competition gets better, deeper into the playoffs, then it looks as though, you know, they are meeting their match?
Well, in Bayport's case, I liked Bayport better than any D1 school we had because they can do one thing that, let's put Neenah and Kimberly with them. Bayport's offense is much better, and we're seeing that in the playoffs. They've gone 41 points, 49 points, 42 points, and Neenah and Kimberly just struggled doing that. So I always thought Bayport had the best shot. D2, we got the two number 1 seeds, West De Pere and Notre Dame, maybe on a collision course for 2 weeks in Camp Randall, so they're doing what we expected them to do. And in Notre Dame's case, it's extra impressive because they're really a D3 school that got bumped up to D2, so whether they're winning by 50 or by 8 like they did tonight, kudos to them. Yeah,
with West De Pere, you know, you look at them, they were not strong in the first half, just a 13-0 lead. But in the second half, they really turned it on. So that's what these teams in Division I and Division II can do. They can just flip the switch and turn on the lights, and that's what makes them so dangerous, right?
But you know, you're saying, oh, West De Pere's only up 13-0. A lot of teams would take 13.
Yeah,
so I mean, if that's bad for West De Pere, they're doing okay. And with that offense, they're always that far away from scoring another touchdown.
All right, local matchup. Let's go back to the highlights in Division IV here. Local Freedom and Winneconne, the 2 against the 1. Wolves strike on the first play of the second quarter. Brody Schaefer finding Ryan Quigley, 7-0 Winneconne. With about 4 minutes left in the half, Schaefer finding Jordan Netikoven, 38 yards. How about the hands on the tip? Winneconne leading 14-0 at the half. Wolves take a 28-point lead when Bryce Jones powers his way into the end zone here. But Nixon, Hankey from 3 yards out. Freedom would be on the board. They would add another score, but just consolation at that point. The Wolves hold off Freedom 31-15. Winneconne will play Baldwin-Woodville, who knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Little Chute also moving on in Division 4, defeating Racine St. Catherine's 23-12. They'll play Columbus, Doug, in the state semifinal.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Little Chute was a team, when I saw them beat Luxembourg Casco, I believe week 8, I said, wait a second, this team might have something in them. We have our scoreboard wrong there with the score, but Little Chute did win tonight. They're dangerous. We might be there on Thursday night at 7 o'clock in Camp Randall in a couple weeks, because that is a good team.
Well, let's keep going with the highlights here. No local teams left in D5, so we head to D6, where top seed Manitowoc Lutheran hoping to win like their volleyball team, facing Cedar Grove, Belgium. It's Jamin Ott finding Noah Dillon in the end zone, 5 yards, 7-0 Lancers. Then Ott once again connecting to Dillon, this time from 76 out. He'll take it all the way home. Let's go to the second quarter. Manitowoc Lutheran's Josiah Martin taking the handoff, fighting through the A-gap. I mean, part of the Red Sea there, 30 yards. How about the diving finish into the end zone, 28-0 Lancers. They poured on 55-14 the final. Next up, Darlington in the state semis. Also in D6, number 3, Bonduelle at number 1, Edgar. Scoreless at halftime, but Bonduelle on the move in the third. Quinn Westenberg slinging it to Beckett. Hartleben, nice pitch and catch, point after, good 7-0. Edgar responds though, Tucker Street looking deep and dropping the bucket to Isaiah Kraft. Beautiful sliding grab. Fourth quarter now, same score, last gasp for Bonduelle. Westenberg to Gavin Maurer there for the interception though, to ice it, 8-7. Edgar wins this one. In Division 7, Coleman's season comes to a close. 34-0 loss to Kenosha St. Joseph. And to the 8-player semifinals, Doug, can't forget them, where Lena met McDonell Central Catholic. It's the reigning runner-ups, should we say, in the 8-man taking on McDonell. Opening kick, the Titans get a nice return. Lucas Hemke weaving through the blockers all the way to the midfield. That drive would come up empty, but on defense, they pounce. McDonell's first play of the game. Ball is out. PJ Finger gets his hands on it. McDonell, though, finds their offensive rhythm. Dawson Moulton turns a corner, finds 6. Season ends for the Titans on the doorstep of state. Doug, plenty to break down from another wonderful week, and we'll get you some top plays first, but what did you take from the lower divisions here, 4 through 7?
Not much surprising. I thought Little Chute had a chance. Granted, you got to go on the road, but not surprised with them. Manitowoc Lutheran, they just keep rolling. 55-14, they beat Cedar Grove, Belgium, I believe 47-14 during the regular season. They haven't skipped a beat. They should play their volleyball team once and see what would happen.
Good time to be a Lancer, right?
Yeah, it's a great time to be a Lancer fan. We'll be there tomorrow, but nothing shook me. I mean, everything kind of fell the way I thought it could fall, and I still think maybe the most eye-opening win was Bayport. Not that they won, but they beat the number 1 team in the state, supposedly by 29 points on the road.
Well, there you go. Let's grab a look at our top play from this week. It's Ryan Lutz going 87 yards, getting Lutz.
Getting Lutz. Lutz getting Lutz.
Going 87 yards to the house in the second quarter. This is when West Lapeer kind of flipped it on, showed some life with those big plays that they do throughout the year. They didn't do much of that, though, in the first quarter. Second, they flipped it on, and in the second half, they certainly pulled away. We got some helmet stickers for you here for Level 3. Take it away.
First helmet sticker goes to the Winneconne, or to Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, actually.
To Notre Dame, actually. Notre Dame, a big win. Garrett Stolz, a sports producer, gives it to the Tritons. They're 1 game away from the Division II state title game. They've never been to Division II state title game.
Well, there you
They've
go.
only been to Division II once.
I got Winneconne here. Big win over Freedom. Get you a spot on the helmet right there. They look as strong as ever, as they have all year, and they hope there's nobody stopping them to get to state.
Final helmet sticker, the Game Time Game of the Week winner, Lourdes Academy. Nice win over Hilbert, 24-14. They're 1 step away from their first trip to Camp Randall, and defensively they were very impressive, especially in the second half. They shut down Hilbert.
Yeah, I mean, there is plenty, again, to take away from this week. But of the helmet stickers we have here, too, who had the most impressive win to you?
The helmet stickers? I think I'd go with Hilbert, Lourdes Academy. I think Hilbert was a team that if that fake punt doesn't happen, I think maybe Lourdes Academy, it becomes a different game in the fourth quarter. Hilbert was down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. They don't want to pass. Now they had to pass it. It took them all out of what they wanted to do. So Lourdes Academy probably. Winnicott, I thought they would take out Freedom, and Notre Dame's at home. So the home teams all won it. All of the helmet stickers, they're all home teams. But I think maybe Lourdes had one of the toughest shots there. Maybe
an even tougher question for you now is how many teams from Northeast Wisconsin will make it to the state championship?
Should I? You know what? I'll tell you what's going to happen. We're going to have a team next week that we're like, wow, they kind of went. We don't like the matchup. And it's going to flip the other way. Like, I think they're going. And they end up getting beat. It's one night. It's one play. It's maybe a bad injury. But I think we can get 4 or 5 down to state, which would be a real good number. And, maybe all of them. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, Division Two. Division Two would be interesting with West Superior and Notre Dame. Everyone and FRCC, 3 teams left yet. They kind of get overlooked because the FVA is always the best conference, one of the best in the state. The FVA didn't play this week. The FRCC went 3-2 this week. They had 5 teams playing tonight.
Planting the flag as the best conference possibly?
Well, the results are showing it.
Well, there you go. We will wait and see. Plenty more coming your way. Let's head to the hardwood. No, not basketball yet. Still in the fall sports volleyball. Manitowoc Lutheran, the reigning Division IV state champs, taking on Barron, the defending Division III state champs. This match started at 8 a.m. It's Ava Steeves saying good morning and good night with that kill. Lancers take the first set. We go to the second set, up 24-19. Marissa Melhorn records one of her team-high 14 kills, and then here's set point. Sally Ann Burrows gets the tip and the point. She has that look, too, as the Lancers go up 2-0. Third set was a good one. We go to what turns out to be match point. Steeves and Abigail Benke team up for the block. Lutheran wins it 27-25, or does it? The officials had something to say, but no, they did. They got the sweep. They'll play Watertown Luther Prep in Saturday's title match.
I am so hyped to be able to play tomorrow. This is what we wanted the whole season. This is our goal. And now that we are there, I'm just happy with whatever the outcome is. Whatever happens tomorrow it's gonna be fun.
I'm also excited. We're not done yet. We still have a job to do. We still have tiny little things to fix, and we still have to try our best. It's not that we just won the game, we're automatically ahead.
You can watch the Lancers championship game along with all the rest of the boys and girls volleyball matchups on the CW14. Manitowoc Lutheran, Watertown Lutheran Prep play at 2:30 p.m. for the D3 title. Let's go D2, defending D2 state runner-up. Luxembourg Casco looking to take down. They dropped the first 2 sets and saved a match point in the third. We'll take it to the fourth when Rylan Kaminsky gets one of her 8 aces to win 26-24. Spartans used that momentum to dominate the fourth set, led by junior Aubrey Fry, and her game-high 27 kills. They take that set 25-17. Sauk Prairie up 3 in the 5th set. The lefty, Claire Slice, putting some slice on that one to find the floor. She had 10 kills, but the early 5th set deficit too much to overcome. Sauk Prairie wins it on a block as Casco's late run falls short. They lose in 5.
I couldn't be more proud of the fight, and I think the word that would typify this season in the perfect word is just grit. We were a gritty team that worked on everything. We just grew every week, and we're here for that reason.
The whole year we've been really working on that Hun mentality and keep pushing no matter if we're down 2 sets or 1 set or what the score is. Just keep on pushing and keep going. And the energy in the huddle was still so high, and so we can do this.
The Wapaka crowd fired up for their first ever state berth as the Comets taking on Grafton. Like Lux Casco, they dropped the first 2 sets and saved a match point, but Creighton commit Peyton Carlson with back-to-back kills helped them win the third. Back and forth in the 4th set, Comets freshman Ava Adamczyk rises, slamming that one to the floor for one of her 7 kills to tie it up at 18, while WIAA down 22-19. And of course, they look to Carlson, who had a match-high 27 kills, while WIAA hoping to force a fifth set just like the Spartans, but that would not come to fruition. Serve on match point goes just long, while WIAA drops this one 3-1.
Obviously, we're disappointed right now, but inside, there's still a good feeling. We've had a great journey, made a lot of memories. It sucks. Like, obviously, losing isn't fun, but we've had a lot of fun wins.
This group has been so fun to be around, and it's rare as a coach to get a group of girls, like 14 high school girls. Like, if anybody knows high school girls, a lot of times, like, it's tough to make those personalities work, and these guys have been such a joy and pleasure to be around.
Let's go to state soccer here. Notre Dame Academy, the number 2 seed, facing McFarland in the Division II semifinal. Tritons open up the scoring in the 28th minute after a giveaway by McFarland senior Royce Lynn, making him pay, ripping the shot in for the goal. 1-0 Notre Dame. Late in the match now, still 1-0. Ryan McNerney with some big saves late, including that one less than a minute left to preserve the clean sheet. Tritons advance to the state title game on Saturday and will face top seed Catholic Memorial at 4:30 p.m. Sturgeon Bay also playing for a state title. They play Oostburg at 1:30 p.m. down in Milwaukee. Of course, that Notre Dame game at 4:30. Both of these, the Division I and II games, can be found streaming on our website, fox11online.com, and I will be there with all the coverage for you tomorrow from Milwaukee. Doug, at least on the hardwood is where we'll talk some volleyball here. Of course, Lux Casco and WIAA season's coming to an end. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, but Manitowoc Lutheran still look like the strongest team in the field.
Yeah, no, I was at the volleyball match at 8 this morning. And,
get you some coffee?
Manitowoc Lutheran, they looked wide awake, at least their hitters did, and they're better than last year because Ava Steeps kind of led them last year. They don't need her to get 25 kills anymore. They spread it around. Watertown Lutheran Prep's really good, but Lutheran, they're so good. And Luxembourg, Casco, and WIAA, it's tough. The draws they got were tough. Casco was playing so well coming in. It's when you got to play catch up, when you lose those first 2 sets, it's really hard. But both teams from the Northeastern Conference, so they did well, and they're fun to watch.
Yeah, how about Liz Kinnear's group, too? They were without her 4 years ago. Then she gets the head coaching job, and she has done a number on this team, and she's got a Creighton commit now in Peyton Carlson. What about the job she's done with that WIAA Comets team?
Yeah, and it's not an easy conference to do a good job in because you have Luxembourg Casco, you have Freedom, you have Fox Valley Lutheran. So there's already 3 really good programs there. So WIAA, great job. All of them. When you get to a state tournament, you've done a great job, period.
All right, soccer, real quick. Notre Dame and Sturgeon Bay, the 2 teams that have advanced. Sturgeon Bay, they had a rough time with Xavier down in Kiel in that sectional matchup down there, but they were able to pull it out in penalties. Oftentimes, that's all you really need to do is just play the 100 minutes and then get to penalties. Which of these teams do you think has the best chance?
It's hard. When you get to state soccer, I can guarantee you one thing. You're not going to see many goals. You're not going to see the net shake too often. You got to get, if you can get one, and usually play defense the rest of the way, that's usually what happens. I've been to state tournaments, so I've rarely seen a goal. So who has the better shot? It's a total guess. I'll pick Notre Dame, but it's going to be really hard for both teams because all 4 teams, the 2 matchups we're talking about, they're all good defensively, so it's really hard to score. That's what state soccer is. That's why you see 1-0 or shootouts.
All right, I'm going to try and test your brain here, Doug. Let's go back to football now. I know we've been on this marathon here, so thank you once again for joining us and sticking with us. Let's go back to football. Which of the teams that have advanced do you like the most to be able to not only win, but then win next week, but win a state championship?
We've mentioned this school once, like a couple minutes ago.
Think so?
Manitowoc Lutheran.
Wow.
They're blowing everybody out. They're blowing the doors off everybody right now. And I know they got a tough game with Darlington next week, but if you look at their scores, they're just blowing the doors off everybody. And it's supposed to get tougher, and they won by 41. So I don't know. I mean, I like Lutheran, I like West Up here, but that could be a Notre Dame West Up here. But the way Manitowoc Lutheran's playing, maybe they win 2 state titles in the next 2 weeks, that school, starting tomorrow.
Final thoughts?
Lots of fun tonight. A long day, lots of action, and tomorrow should be interesting to see if our 3 local teams can bring home some gold. It's going to be good.
All righty. Thank you so much for joining us here on our YouTube Live and for High School Game Time. For Doug Ritchie, our producer Garrett Stoltz, and our entire Fox 11 crew, I'm Michael Gross. We'll see you next week on High School Game Time.